स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः। यथाग्नेर्दाहिका शक्ति रामकृष्णे स्थिता हिया सर्वविद्यास्वरूपां तां शारदां प्रणमाम्यहम्। नमः श्रीयतिराजाय विवेकानन्दसूरये सच्चित्सुखस्वरूपाय स्वामिने तापहारिणे अखण्डमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ। Let us send positive vibrations, healthy, pure vibrations to all corners of the world. सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। सर्वस्तरतु दुर्गाणि, सर्वो भद्राणि पश्यतु, सर्वसद्बुद्धिमाप्नोतु, सर्वत्र नन्दतु। हरिः ओम्। May all be happy, may all be peaceful, may all be free from diseases, free from danger, free from difficulties. May all see what is good, listen what is good, speak what is good, and do what is useful to others. May all rejoice everywhere, may all be enlightened everywhere, may all be peaceful and healthy everywhere. ॐ असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतङ्गमय। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। हरिः ओम्। Namaste to everybody. Like yesterday, we shall play the video, concluding part, few minutes of Vivekananda in Hyderabad in Telugu, and later we'll have the final day's session on self-confidence and character building. Please watch.
రోజు కొన్ని హైందవ ఆలయ శిథిలాలను బాబా షరావుద్దీన్ సమాధి సర్ సాలార్జంగ్ రాజభవనాన్ని తిలకించారు స్వామీజీ. అనంతరం అతీంద్రియ శక్తులను సంతరించుకున్న ఒక యోగిని స్వామీజీ హైదరాబాదులో కలుసుకున్నారు. ఏ వస్తువు కోరుకున్నా దానిని రప్పించగల శక్తివంతుడు ఆయన. అంతకు మునుపు మీరు నా తల మీద చెయ్యి వేసి ఉంచి ఆశీర్వదించాలి, అప్పుడు నా జ్వరం నయమవుతుంది అన్నాడు. ఆయన చెప్పినట్లే చేశారు స్వామీజీ. కొద్దిసేపటి తర్వాత మీకు కావలసినవి ఒక కాగితం మీద రాసి నాకివ్వండి అని యోగి చెప్పడంతో ఆ ప్రాంతంలో లభించని ద్రాక్ష, కమలా ఫలాల వంటి పండ్ల పేర్లను రాసి ఆయనకు అందించారు స్వామీజీ. ఆ యోగి గుత్తులు గుత్తులుగా ద్రాక్ష, కమలా ఫలాలు మొదలైన వాటిని అప్పటికప్పుడు సృష్టించాడు. పొగలు కక్కుతున్న వేడివేడి అన్నం కూడా తెప్పించాడు. వాటిని తినమని స్వామీజీతో చెప్పగా అదేదో గారడి అని తలిచిన మిత్రులు స్వామీజీని తినకుండా అడ్డుకున్నారు. కానీ స్వయంగా ఆ యోగి వాటిని తినడం ప్రారంభించగానే అందరూ తిన్నారు. చివరగా అద్భుతమైన గులాబీ పూలను తెప్పించాడు యోగి. అవి మంచు బిందువులతో కొంచెం కూడా వాడక ఎంతో తాజాగా ఉన్నాయి. బోలెడన్ని పూలను చూసిన స్వామీజీ ఇది ఎలా అంటూ ప్రశ్నించగా అంతా హస్తలాఘవం అన్నాడు ఆ యోగి. యోగి దగ్గర నుంచి తిరిగి వచ్చాక కూడా స్వామీజీ ఆ యోగి గురించి ఆలోచిస్తూ ఉండిపోయారు.
అసలు ఆయన ఇదంతా ఎలా చేయగలిగాడని సుదీర్ఘంగా ఆలోచించసాగారు స్వామీజీ.
అలా ఆయన ఆలోచనల్లోంచి స్వామీజీకి లభించిన యుక్తియుక్తమైన జవాబు మనస్సు. మనస్సును వశపరుచుకుంటే శక్తి ఉద్భవిస్తుంది. ఇతరుల మనస్సును కూడా తన కోరిక మేరకు వ్యవహరింపజేసే సమర్థత లభిస్తుంది. ఎందుకంటే ఆధారంలో మనస్సులన్నీ పరస్పరం సమైక్యమైనవే అనే సమాధానం లభించింది వివేకానందుల వారికి. వ్యక్తిగత మనస్సు అంటూ ప్రత్యేకంగా ఏదీ లేదు. మానసిక శక్తి చూపించి అక్కడ ఏనుగు ఉంది అని చెప్తే ఆ మరో వ్యక్తికి ఏనుగే కనిపిస్తుంది. అది అసలైన మానసిక శక్తి సృష్టించే అద్భుతం అంటూ అసలు విషయాన్ని అర్థం చేసుకున్నారు స్వామీజీ. ఆ తరుణంలో మానసిక శక్తి నిదర్శనాన్ని ప్రత్యక్షంగా చూశారు స్వామి వివేకానంద. హైదరాబాద్ పర్యటన స్వామివారిలో గొప్ప ఉత్సాహాన్ని, మానసిక దృఢత్వాన్ని, చొరవను అందించింది. మానసిక శక్తులు అనే అంశం మీద 1900 సంవత్సరంలో లాస్ ఏంజిల్స్లో ప్రసంగిస్తూ 1000 సంవత్సరాల క్రితం భారతదేశంలో ఇటువంటి యోగులు ఉండేవారని, కాలంతో పాటుగా వారి సంఖ్య తగ్గిపోయిందని తెలియజేశారు. ప్రతి ఒక్కరిలోనూ దివ్యత్వం గర్భితంగా ఉందని, అందరి మనస్సులను సమైక్యపరిచినప్పుడు ఒకరి ఆలోచనలు మరొకరికి తంతి వలె పంపవచ్చని స్వామీజీ తెలియజేశారు. అయితే ఆధ్యాత్మిక సాధకుడు ఇటువంటి సిద్ధుల గందరగోళంలో పడరాదని స్వామీజీ హెచ్చరించారు. ఫిబ్రవరి 17 స్వామీజీ హైదరాబాదు నుంచి చెన్నైకి పయనమయ్యారు. స్వామివారికి వీడ్కోలు పలికేందుకు 1000 మందికి పైగా ప్రజలు స్టేషన్కు తరలివచ్చారు. భాగ్యనగర పర్యటన స్వామీజీ జీవితాన్ని కొంతవరకు ప్రభావితం చేసిందని చెప్పవచ్చు. అప్పటి వరకు పాశ్చాత్య దేశాలకు వెళ్లాలా వద్దా అనే మీమాంసలో ఉన్న తరుణంలో సందిగ్ధపు చాటు తెరలు తొలగి ఓ ఖచ్చితమైన నిర్ణయానికి రాగలిగారు. హైదరాబాదులో జరిగిన మొట్టమొదటి అతిపెద్ద బహిరంగ ఉపన్యాసం వివేకానందుల వారి జీవితంలో ఒక నూతన ఉత్సాహాన్ని నింపి తదుపరి కార్యసాఫల్యానికి ఆధారంగా నిలబడింది. అప్పటి వరకు అందరికీ పూర్తిగా పరిచయం లేని స్వామీజీ తన హైదరాబాద్ పర్యటనతో ప్రజల దృష్టిని ఆకర్షించారు. ఆ తరువాత ఆయన స్థానాన్ని పదిలం చేసుకున్నారు. జనసంద్రం ఎక్కువైనప్పుడు వక్తలోని అసలైన ప్రతిభ వెలుగులోకి వస్తుంది. మహబూబ్ కళాశాలలో అచ్చంగా ఇదే జరిగింది. తన పాశ్చాత్య పర్యటన విజయానికి మూలకారకంగా నిలిచింది. వివేకానందుల వారు భారతదేశానికి ఒక వరప్రసాదం. ఈ భూమిపై అవతరించిన యుగపురుషుడు. ఏ వ్యక్తి అయినా స్వామీజీని దర్శించి ఉంటే
అది కేవలం 5 నిమిషాలు కావచ్చు, ఆ వ్యక్తితో మాట కలపాలనిపిస్తుంది. స్వామీజీ దర్శించిన, ప్రయాణించిన ప్రాంతాలను తీర్థక్షేత్రాలుగా భావన చేస్తాం. హైదరాబాద్ నగర పర్యటన, ఆధ్యాత్మిక చర్చ గురించి విన్నప్పుడు ఆనందోత్సాహాల్లో మునిగి తేలుతాం. అందుకే వారు దర్శించిన ప్రాంతాలు, కళాశాల ఇప్పటికీ చారిత్రాత్మక స్థలాలుగా చరిత్ర పుటల్లో నిలిచి ఉన్నాయి.
స్వామి వివేకానంద హైదరాబాద్ సందర్శన సనాతన ధర్మానికి, దక్షిణ భారతంలో రామకృష్ణ సంఘం అభివృద్ధికి దోహదకారి అయ్యింది. చారిత్రాత్మకతతో పాటు
వివేకానందుల వంటి యుగ పురుషుని సందర్శనతో పులకించిపోయింది భాగ్యనగరం.
ఒక దశలో ఆత్మవిశ్వాసాన్ని చేజార్చుకునే స్థితిలో ఉన్న వివేకానందుల వారు కేవలం ఓర్పుతో తాను అనుకున్న కార్యాన్ని సాధించారు.
నమ్మకమే ఆయన్ను సుదూర తీరాలకు తీసుకువెళ్లి అత్యున్నత శిఖరాలను అందుకునేలా చేసింది.
నీ వెనక ఏముంది, నీ ముందు ఏముంది అనేది నీకనవసరం, నీలో ఏముంది అనేది ముఖ్యం అంటూ స్వామీజీ చెప్పే మాటలు ఎంతో మందికి నిత్య ప్రేరణను కలిగిస్తాయి. ఒక ధ్యేయంతో కృషి చేస్తే రేపైనా విజయం దక్కుతుంది అని చెప్పే స్వామి కెరటం నాకు ఆదర్శం,
లేచి పడుతున్నందుకు కాదు, పడి లేస్తున్నందుకు అంటూ యువతలో దాగి ఉన్న మహోన్నతమైన శక్తిని మేల్కొల్పుతారు.
ప్రేమ, నిజాయితీ, పవిత్రతతో ప్రపంచంలోని అన్ని శక్తులను జయించిన మానవునిగా స్వామీజీ ఎందరికో ఆదర్శప్రాయులు. ధైర్యాలలోనే చావు బతుకులు ఉన్నాయని
యావత్ భారతావానికి చాటి చెప్పిన పుణ్య పురుషుడు వివేకానందుడు.
వ్యక్తిత్వం ఒక మనిషికి ఎంత అవసరమో, అది లేకుంటే
జీవితం ఎంత దుర్భరమో ఆయన తన చేతలతో నిరూపించారు.
ఆశయం లేనివాడే నిజమైన పేదవాడు అంటూ ఆయన కలలుగన్న భారతదేశం వైపుకు అడుగులు వేస్తూ స్వామీజీ సందేశాన్ని మన నిత్య జీవితాల్లో ఆచరణలో పెట్టి దాన్ని విశ్వవ్యాప్తం చేయడమే ఆయనకు మనమివ్వగలిగే ఘనమైన నివాళి.
Yes, that's the short video. Hope you could see better in the larger screen in the Matta campus. When things become better, we'll inform you. You can come and have a look on the full video and gain more inspiration, more confidence, and more knowledge also. Okay. And when you read Swami Vivekananda, when you think about him, when you meditate on the Om and our scriptures and traditions, a new confidence, a new personality will be formed. Total transformation will take place. There is no doubt about it. It has been proved, it has been exercised. People are working very hard and they are gaining the blessings, obtaining the blessings of Swamiji. So self-confidence and character building, these two pillars were his favorite topic, favorite theme wherever he went. Kashmir to Kanyakumari, Gujarat to Northeast, or in Europe, or in India, anywhere. Confidence. Be careful, my dear friends. Confidence without devotion will land up into arrogance. Confidence without devotion, without purity will become arrogance, pogaru. You will trouble others. You will hurt others because you are confident. But we are working on the positive side, on the pure side, on the selfless side, and that is what this course is all about. So we come to the last day of this course, short-term course, 5 days, 5 hours plus. Total you might have got how much? 7 hours on the vast subject of self-confidence, which is vast like space, and deep as the ocean, as they say. But still, some naam ke vaste, we have given you, wonderful people came and gave you ideas, and I discussed some points with you all. Now it is your responsibility, it is your duty, it is your daily life. So methodical life, a systematic life, and practicing these teachings will make a lot of difference, both personal and national. So today we have another very inspiring personality, our senior most faculty, another young man, should I say. Yesterday you had Satyanarayana Garu, and today you will have Professor K. Subramaniam joining us live from Bengaluru. He is another young man in our faculty list. He is also approximately 84, 85 years young. Tremendous confidence, tremendous joy, tremendous enthusiasm even at this age. When things were normal, he was traveling from Delhi to Bangalore, Delhi, Hyderabad, Calcutta, wherever invitations, and he's educationist. He is an educationist. He has trained, he has involved himself with thousands and thousands of students from his college days. He's a Telugu man from Rajahmundry, studied in Andhra University in Visakhapatnam, and he is professor. He's a Dr. Subramaniam, doctor, not a medical doctor, but he is a PhD in English. You know what was the subject of his English, of his PhD? His PhD was on Vivekananda's English. Very, very interesting. Vivekananda's poetry, Vivekananda's speeches, Vivekananda's writings, that English. So he took a special joy in that, bringing out Swamiji's grammar, English, everything. and made a lot of books also. And in our Ramakrishna Math Hyderabad, maximum contribution by Dr. Subramaniam. Gita Darshan, beautiful museum is there. It was a pictorial museum. Now we made it a digital museum using his voice and Bhagavad Gita chanting and singing. It is put into a lot of graphics. So that is a separate building is there called Gita Darshanam. Book also is there, English, Telugu. Selected verses of the Bhagavad Gita out of 700, we made 108. So Bhagavad Gita contribution, and he has written a book on Rama to Ramakrishna and a couple of other English books. He is a pro-chancellor of Vivekananda University, yes, Vyas, in Bengaluru. He takes regular classes on yoga, on Vivekananda, on life, values, scriptures, Bhagavatam. So he's a man of tremendous dedication and knowledge. He has been associated with us last maybe 50 years, 60 years, from his childhood, Ramakrishna Math, in Chennai, in Tiruvadakam, Madurai district, in Bangalore, in many places, many places. So I requested sir to take over today, last day, and you will understand when he speaks about confidence and character building, which are very important. So over to Dr. K. Subramaniam Garu, Namaste. Subramaniam Garu, Namaste. Shubha Sandhya, Susandhya. You can unmute. Namaskaram.
Namaskaram.
Yes, you are strong as usual.
Audible?
Very clear, very powerful.
Fine.
Please carry on.
Okay. Namaste. Oh. Vande Sembhumumapatim Suragurum Vande Jagatkaranam Vande Pannagabhushanam Seshidharam Vande Pasunam Patim Vande Surya Shashanka Vanninayanam Vande Mukunda Priyam Vande Bhaktajana Ashrayam Chavaradam Vande Bhaktajana Ashrayam Chavaradam Vande Shivam Shankaram. Most revered Swamiji and my dear friends, Swamiji has beautifully introduced the two words confidence and character. Confidence without character, confidence without devotion, confidence without modesty, confidence without humility will be arrogance. It is nothing but egoism. I have used a few words to show that confidence verges on arrogance if we don't observe certain things. I give a simple example to make the idea clear. What is confidence and what is arrogance? A confident person says, I can do it. I shall do it. I will do it. But an arrogant person will say, I can alone do it. Nobody else can do it. That's haughtiness. In the Puranas, in mythology, we have two wonderful characters in Ramayana. One is Ravana, haughty, person of might, person of greatest confidence with utmost arrogance. He did tapasya. God appeared before him. What do you want? He asked. And in his haughtiness, in his overweening confidence and highest arrogance, said, I don't care for man and monkey. Man is after all an insignificant creature. Monkey is after all an animal. Man and monkey cannot do anything. I am least worried. I don't care. And that is haughtiness, arrogance. No doubt he has confidence. But this confidence has grown to such a great extent that it has developed itself into arrogance. There are many people who are unable to distinguish between confidence and arrogance. Confidence, when it goes beyond limits, it becomes a pride. Pride goeth forth on horseback and returneth begging its way. Many a stalwart person had fallen from the heights of glory to the depths of degradation simply because of this overweening arrogance. I give a practical down to the earth modern example. Almost everybody is aware of the great singer M.S. Subbalakshmi. She sang so many songs. Once I invited her for a function. I went to her house. She was practicing. Ripe old age. She sang hundreds of kirtanas, and that evening there was a kacheri and she was very humble practicing. I asked her, Amma, is it necessary that you should practice now at this age even after singing so many hundreds of times? She said, with all humility, your sadhana is most important, sir. And she reminded me of the story which we all know. In the elementary school, we were all taught the story of the running race between the rabbit and the tortoise. Rabbit, no doubt, can run very fast. Tortoise is slow. But tortoise has confidence. I can try. I shall, with all sincerity, take the test to my heart and I will complete the race. Rabbit looked at the tortoise. Hey, it is with this tortoise that I have to run. What a foolish thing. And it was because of its haughtiness. The rabbit slept. Hello?
Sir, you're audible, sir. I think the power. Yes, sir.
Okay. Am I audible? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So, all right. Here, electricity has failed. Now, I was trying to narrate the episode of the running race between the tortoise and the rabbit. Rabbit is arrogant. Tortoise is confident. It is arrogance that brings our downfall. It is confidence that gives us a success. That is what has happened in the case of Ravana. And when you see Vali, again, wonderful character. He is conceited. His wife Tara warned him. After all, Sugriva, a bacha, I will kick him. That was the haughtiness of Vali. And if we see some of our cricket matches, some of our sports and games, what is it that brings it down? It is our haughtiness. And in academics, a boy might have scored 100, 95, 98, and in his overweening confidence, verging on arrogance, would sleep, would not bestow sufficient attention, and he would fail miserably. Beautifully, the difference has been brought out by the elders. Confidence and arrogance. Swami Vivekananda was always confident, never arrogant. Everywhere, every time you practice, you succeed. Never for a fraction of a second should you think that I alone capable of doing it, not others. That's why practice, practice, practice. I can give you any number of stories, either in mythology or in history, or in our day-to-day life. Everywhere, it is confidence that gives you success. Swami Vivekananda's way, beautifully the topic is been kind. Confidence and character building, the way of Vivekananda, how he has built. Confidence and character are the two sides of personality. A great person is confident, and this confidence is the outcome of good character. I shall narrate some of the life incidents of Swami Vivekananda to highlight confidence and character building. Swami Vivekananda went to Chicago, we all know it. On the 31st of July, 1893, he left India from Mumbai harbor, and he reached Vancouver on the 31st May he left India, 31st July he reached. From there by road in the first week of August, he reached Chicago. That means the entire June and July he traveled. As soon as he reached Chicago, he searched for a good place, good hotel. He paid the money, lodged himself in that room, refreshed himself, came out to make inquiries about the Parliament of Religions. Remember the dates, 31st May 1893, he left India from Mumbai. And in the first week of August, he reached Chicago. When he made inquiries, somebody told him, sir, originally we planned to have the Parliament of Religions in the month of August, but because of certain unavoidable circumstances, it is postponed to 11th of September. By the by, you are from India. I think you have come to participate in the Parliament of Religions, maybe as a delegate. But unfortunately, every program has been finalized. All the delegates have been registered. All the speakers have been finalized. It is only the first week of August. The Parliament of Religions will commence on the 11th of September, 1893, Monday. Do you have enough money to maintain yourself in that posh hotel? Vivekananda counted. No, money will not be sufficient. There is no chance at present either to take part as a delegate or to be a speaker. But he did not lose confidence. That is his speciality. When everything is favorable, all are confident. When everything is different, when everything is opposed, when there is no favorable situation, still if you are to entertain that faith in yourself, then it is called self-confidence. He did not have enough money. People suggested Chicago is a costly city. He cannot maintain himself till the 11th of September there. Also, the delegates and speakers have been finalized. There is no chance, apparently, but still he did not lose hope. The tortoise did not lose hope. He did not become despondent. He was courageous. He was bold. He was strong. He was confident. The person suggested, sir, if you are in Chicago, it is very difficult for you to maintain yourself. Nearby, about 6 or 7 hours of train travel, Boston is a town. You vacate the room, go to the railway station, take a train to Boston, come back on 8th or 9th or 10th of September. Try your luck. You may get the opportunity. Now, see the situation. Nothing is favorable. He is in a foreign land without much of money. There is no hope. And still he was confident. Yes, I will certainly get an opportunity by the grace of God Almighty. Vivekananda went to his room, vacated the room, packed his luggage, came out, and he was walking from the lodging house to the railway station. A majestic personality, a magnificent personality, looks like a tall tower with his turban, with his flowing saffron robes, and with his majestic gait when he was walking from the hotel to the railway station. People looked at him. They were surprised. They were astounded. They were taken aback. And they thought, here is a personality, a person of a majestic stature. They observed him. They looked at him. Some of them were following him. The situation was similar to Sri Ramachandra Prabhu in the Ramayana. Ram, Lakshman, and Vishwamitra were in Mithila. They were to attend the Swayamvara of Sita. When Ram was walking in the main streets of Mithila to go to the palace of Janak Maharaj, people thronged to the streets, came out of their houses, Abala Gopalam, right from a child to the elderly senior citizen. Men, women, children, elderly person, all types of people came just to look at Sri Ramachandra Prabhu. What is his personality? What is his speciality? In his eyes, they found confidence. When he was going to that bow and arrow, Shivadhanas, his eyes were oozing confidence. I might have conducted hundreds of interviews in my career, both in public and private sector organizations. When the candidate comes to the interview, I look at his eyes. It is in the eye we can find the confidence of the person. What is the answer he gives, that is not important to me. How he answers the question. how he enters the hall, how he looks. Does he have the confidence to take up the job? Sri Ramachandra Prabhu, when he was walking, he was able to emit, show, exhibit that tremendous confidence. Vishwamitra was sure, Janaka Maharaj was sure, and Sita Devi herself was sure that he would lift the bow and break it. Swami Vivekananda, when he stood at the Parliament of Religions on the 11th of September, it appeared as though the entire Bharat was standing up with tremendous confidence. People were astounded. The moment he stood up, the moment he said a few words, sisters and brothers of America, there were two things seen in his voice. One is confidence, the other is love, devotion, brotherly affection. He considered everybody to be his brother or sister. Such was his boundless love and affection for the people. And he was a person of confidence. When he said brothers and sisters, people clapped. Why? It's not because of the great scholarship. It was because of his confidence. It was because of his friendly attitude, loving attitude, brotherly attitude, universal brotherhood. And similar to the incident of Sri Ramachandra Prabhu being looked at by so many people, Swami Vivekananda was being looked at by hundreds of people when he was walking from the hotel to the railway station. In Dwapara Yuga, Sri Krishna and Balarama were brought by Akrura from the village to Mathura to attend the Dhanuryaga of Kamsa. When Krishna was walking, a dark complexioned boy of about 16 years, his gait, his walk, his look, everything was majestic. There was a royalty. There was a divinity coming out, beaming out, blossoming out. That was the personality of Sri Krishna Paramatma. Just as Rama was applauded, Sri Krishna was applauded. Kamsa Chanura Mardanam. At the very look of Krishna, Kamsa failed. He suffered. He died of heart attack. Such was the confidence of Krishna, which scared Kamsa. Sahrab and Rustum. You find the mighty personality. When Gandhiji was going to the round table conference, the robust person Winston Churchill was shivering. He said, I am scared, I am afraid of that half-naked beggar of India. Why? Two things were present in Mahatma Gandhi. One is confidence. The other is character. You take all the people in history, you will find these two words shake the world. One is confidence. The other is character. And now Swami Vivekananda walked from the hotel to the railway station. People were looking at him. They were surprised at his majestic personality. Vivekananda reached the railway station, booked the ticket, boarded the train, and then he was there seated. Just opposite, in that small compartment of 8 people, there was an elderly lady. Her name was Miss Sanborn, about 65 years, spinster. And there were 6 American gentlemen, 3 were sitting by her side, 3 were sitting by the side of Vivekananda. There were total 8. Swami Vivekananda was seated silently. He was looking through the window. looking at the sky, clouds, flying birds, tree tops, telephone posts. He was enjoying the scenic beauty. And there were people who were on the platform. They were walking up and down. They came to the window where Vivekananda was seated. They looked at him, stood for a while, surprised. And some of the people entered the compartment, looked at Swami Vivekananda for a few seconds or minutes, went out. And all this was being observed by the 6 American gentlemen and that single lady, Miss Sanborn. After a few minutes, the green signal was given, the whistle was blown, the train steamed out, and one of the American gentlemen broke the silence. Normally, Americans in those days would not speak with a stranger without introduction. But now they could not control the temptation. They wanted to know who he was. They were so curious because so many people were looking at Vivekananda. This man, a brown-skinned person in saffron robes from a foreign land, is being looked at, is being admired. Foreigners are not new in America. Indians were not new in America. Sadhus were also not new in America. There was something extraordinary about this gentleman Vivekananda. So, one American gentleman broke the silence, looked at Swamiji. "Excuse me, sir," he said. Swamiji, from the heights of his contemplation, from the heights of his enjoyment, admiring the scenic beauty, came down, looked at him. "Yes, sir. What is your query? What is it you are trying to say?" And that American gentleman looked at Swamiji. The train was going, of course. He said, "Mister, you seem to be a foreigner. Foreigners are not new in this country, nor a sannyasi is new. We are richer than you. We are greater than you. We are brighter than you. We are whiter than you. We are taller than you. We are better dressed than you. Our watches cost more than $500. Our costumes, full suit costs more than $2,000. The necktie itself would cost some $200. Our shoes, our watches, our clothes, everything is very costly. Above all, we are more than 6 feet tall, majestic. But I find people are not interested in us. They do not look at us. They are all with you, looking at you. What is your superiority? What is your speciality? How is it they do not look at us? How is it they look at you? In what way you are different from us? In what way you are greater than we?" And then Swami Vivekananda coolly gave the reply, "My dear gentlemen, no doubt you look like a gentleman in your costumes. You require a tailor to stitch your suit to make you look like a gentleman. You require a cobbler to make your shoes and polish them to make you look like a gentleman. You require a barber to give you a crop and a clean shave to make you look like a gentleman. You require a washerman to wash your clothes and press them so that you will look like a gentleman. And after all, when everything was available, you cannot put on your own coat. Somebody should come from behind to help you wear that coat so that you could look like a gentleman. To make you look like a gentleman, so many people have to work hard, and you may or may not look like a gentleman. We in India do not want to look like a gentleman, but we want to be gentlemen. And to make us gentlemen, to be a gentleman, in India, what we require is only one thing: character, character, character makes a gentleman in India. Your external appearance may make you look like a gentleman in the Western countries. They were surprised the way he answered the question. The lady opposite to him heard the answer. She clapped. My young man, for the first time, I was able to understand the significance of character. It is character that makes a gentleman. Wonderful, wonderful, my boy. I am 65 years old, a spinster. I live in Boston. This train goes to Boston. Why are you going? Where do you stay there? Do you know anybody there? Then Swami Vivekananda gave the reply. Ma, I know none in Boston. I do not know anybody. Then where do you stay? Depending on whom do you go? I depend on myself. Confidence. I came all alone from India. I was born all alone on the earth. I am to make a lonely journey, a solitary journey. When I came to this earth, nobody came with me. And when I travel, I have to travel all alone. Who is my companion? Confidence is my companion. Self-confidence is my companion. Atma Vishwasam is my companion. Faith in myself is my companion. I do travel a lot. And when I leave the world, I leave alone. Nobody comes with me. Why should I try to depend upon X or Y or Z? Let me depend upon myself. And that is confidence. And that is the key word for Raja Yoga. God has blessed us with the willpower. When the will is dormant, dull, weak, you lose your confidence. Potentialities are present. Abilities are present. Talents are present. Strength is present. But all of them will be useless if you don't have the confidence. Arjun has arrived on the battlefield. He has looked at Bhishma, the great grandfather. He has looked at Drona, the affectionate teacher. He looked at his kith and kin, cousins. Suddenly he got desperate. There was a setback. There was a dip. There was a depression. And the entire Bhagavad Gita was nothing but an exhortation. Krishna, in the second chapter, as soon as he started opening his mouth, the first word, Kutastva kasmelamidam vishame samupasthitam anarya justam asvargyam akirtikaram arjuna kshudram hridaya daurbalyam tyaktvottishta parantapa. My man, how is it suddenly you have lost hope? How is it you have suddenly become desperate? How is it you are down, depressed? Come on, stand up. It is a psychic weakness. If we don't have that confidence, it is nothing but psychic weakness, hridaya daurbalyam. Many students, when they enter the interview hall, there will be a Freudian slip. They know the subject. They know the answers. They are very well equipped with the subject. But looking at the interviewers, elderly people, they lose their confidence. Even the best questions which they can very easily answer, they fail to answer. In the examination too. Sometimes some people are so anxiety-ridden, so tension-ridden, that they lose their confidence and the questions they fail to answer properly. The weak person also becomes strong if there is confidence. The strong person becomes weak when there is no confidence. Arrogance should not be there. Confidence should be there. And these are the potentialities to be doubled when there is confidence. Vivekananda is known for his confidence. And when Miss Sanborn asked him, "Where are you going, sir?" "Boston." "Depending on whom are you going, sir?" "Myself." We have to realize that we never depend upon anybody. Self-reliance. Self-confidence leads to self-reliance. Self-reliance leads to success. Fear will not be there. Frenzied atmosphere will not be there. We will be robust. And now his answer is, character makes a gentleman. That character and confidence have got merged. Now I come to the practical tips. How to build character. How to build confidence. Number one, sit erect. Stand erect. Walk straight. Don't have a loose walk. An elderly person, a sickly person walks slowly. His back may be bent. Young men, young women should be bold. And I'm sorry, every time here electricity is failing. Therefore, Vivekananda is known for his confidence. The few tips while talking to the people, never turn your face. Don't feel shy. Look at the eyes of the person. See how your confidence will develop. You will have that strength only when you look straight into the eyes of the, that doesn't mean you should look at him angrily. No, just look. I'll give you a specific example. Suppose you are traveling by a train. Somebody is seated in front of you. You look at him. Just look at him straight into his eyes for half a minute or a few seconds. He will turn his eyes left and right. That is insufficient confidence. You try to show your confidence by looking straight into the eyes. That is an important factor. Gandhiji is a man of confidence. How to build further? Some of the tricks. There are always two things, positive and negative. Positive things will make you strengthen your hope. Negative thinking will weaken your mind. Always, when the people think of the future, there is a negative thinking. And that negative thinking makes us weak. I cannot get IAS. After all, I am from a village. There are different people. There are different abilities. How can I? When I went to Andhra University to study my English, I was very shy. I was very diffident. Other students are all from English speaking schools. Medium of instruction was English, and they were speaking English. I am from a Telugu medium school. I never spoke in English, nor did my teachers speak in English. Everything was in Telugu. I went to the university. I joined the college. There were other students, and I was always keeping my mouth shut, closed, out of diffidence. When the first tests took place, I scored the highest mark. It gave me confidence. Success breeds confidence. Wherever your potentialities are, wherever your talents are, wherever your abilities are, try to find out. Establish in that field. Suppose you are good at mathematics. Assert you are right for the acquisition of knowledge in mathematics. Score marks, and there will be recognition. And that recognition will give you confidence. Nobody is born without a gift. Everybody is born with a gift. Talents are hidden. Identify the talent. What for am I fit? What is the hidden talent in me? You may be a singer. You may be a writer. You may be a thinker. You may be a sportsman. You may be an academician. You may be a scientist. You must be in a position to identify the talent and express that talent in the way it should be expressed. And then people will be surprised. You will get the recognition. When once you get the recognition, that gives you confidence in other subjects also. Wherever you go, you will shine. Therefore, confidence is to come when we sit erect, stand erect, think right. Never think negatively. Be always positive. I just give an example. Once I was in Hyderabad Institute of Human Excellence. I completed my lecture, came out of the mud. I was standing on the pavement. I was waiting for my son to bring the car and take me home. That day, there was some mishap. Maybe there was some curfew. Maybe there was some police control. And my son would come to the opposite side of the road. I have to cross. Then fear entered into my mind. The road is under the control of the policeman. People are not allowed to cross the road. If I cross the road, I may fall under the wheels of the pilot policeman. I may be taken to the hospital. I might lose the identity card, and I may die a miserable death without the knowledge of my son, wife, and friends and relatives. This was all imagination. Second imagination. Sonia Gandhi is supposed to be coming to Hyderabad. Maybe she is coming this way. That's the reason why the roads have been kept quiet. And I was standing on the pavement. She would come this way. She would look at me. She would ask the driver to stop the vehicle, looking at me. The car would come to a screeching halt. She will come out. She will reach me. Hello, sir, professor, you here. When Rajiv Gandhi was alive, you were frequently coming to Delhi. You were giving wonderful ideas to my husband. You introduced value education in the colleges and universities. You introduced autonomous setup with the colleges. You are responsible for making the Ministry of Education into the Ministry of Human Resource Development. How is it you are not nowadays coming at all, Delhi? I am out of power now. I want to come back to power, sir. Please come. Let us go to the circuit house. We will sit. We will discuss the ways to come back to power. The first one is negative imagination. The second one is a positive imagination. You may think this man will be called by Sonia Gandhi. They will discuss in the circuit house. What a wonderful thing. It may not happen. Do I die on the road? That also may not happen. If hopes are dupes, fears are liars. Our positive imagination may not come true. Negative imagination also will not come true. When you are positively imagining, you build your confidence. You feel happy. When you are imagining negatively, you sink, you fall, you shrink, and you lose your confidence. After all, mind is mine. It's my slave. Let me use the mind to build the confidence. I have given you 3 tricks. Number 1, sit erect, stand erect, look straight physically. 2, whatever is the talent hidden in you, identify it, find out the talent, improve it, present it. You will get the recognition. Recognition gives you the confidence. 3, positive thinking. Always positive, always positive. Every minute, if you build your thoughts on the positive track, mind becomes full of confidence. Savitri, in our mythology, is confident that she can get her husband's life back. Markandeya is of strong willpower and tremendous confidence. He says, when Shiva is in me, what can Yama do to me? And that Shiva is nothing but confidence. Your talent, your knowledge, your discussion, your scholarship, your erudition, and that is Nachiketa. That gives you confidence. In any way, you try to develop that confidence. Swami Vivekananda had the talent, used that talent, and he was always positive in thinking. Whether it is a past or present or future, negativism never crept into his mind. Always positive, he was proceeding further. This is the trick to build confidence. Sir Winston Churchill was approached by 2 students. What is the secret of your success as a speaker on the platform, sir? They asked. Winston Churchill, you look at his personality in your Google, robust, like an apple, a stout person. And that Winston Churchill called these 2 students to his chamber. My boys, sit down. They sat. And Winston Churchill looked at them and said, my boys, you asked me the question, what is the secret of my success? I can very easily answer the question, confidence, 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 but that's not correct. I will give you the tips how to become confident. When I stand before the audience, when I take the mic, there are 2 thoughts in my mind. Number 1, I know what I am going to speak. I know it. That's okay. What is the second thought, sir? the people in front of me, the people in the audience, they do not know anything. And therefore, the second thought is very important. Whether it is a game or sport, whether it is a fight or any debate, the confidence, I know it. I know it is very important. The other, you do not know it, is also equally important. When there are children, we are able to lecture. When there are professors in front of me, I am diffident. Why? There is unconsciously a thought, oh, there are all big people, better people, great people, and that brings me diffidence. So I gave you 4 tricks. For character building, there are only 3. Number 1, honesty. Honesty is a virtue. When I find a 100-rupee note on the road, I pick it up. I don't pocket it because the principal is looking at me. Some people are looking at me. They may think that I am a thief, selfish fellow. No. Image is very important. Image building. People should know that I am a man of honesty. Therefore, I don't pick it up. I don't look at the dirty, vulgar cinema posters, because when I am looking at them, if the students see, they may think badly of me. Therefore, I control myself. No doubt, honesty is a very good policy, but it is a negative virtue out of a fear of losing the reputation, fear of losing the image. You are not doing it. When nobody is there, when there is opportunity, when there is darkness, if you find a 100-rupee note on the road, look at this side, that side, then also if you don't take, then it is you are a man of integrity. That gives you character. Mahatma Gandhi was in the classroom as a small boy. The supervising officer came. The teacher prompted him to set right the spelling. Gandhiji said, no, I will not do it. So is the case with Vivekananda. Never. He never told a lie in the classroom. Once he was talking to his friend in the classroom. The teacher got angry. Are you talking? Yes. Are you not listening to the lesson? Listening. Can you repeat? Yes. Verbatim he repeated. That's confidence. If you are to observe honesty, and if you are to develop that honesty into integrity, then you will develop character. The simplest virtue, the easiest virtue, say a word and keep that word. Suppose you tell somebody, I'll come at 5 o'clock, go there at 5 o'clock. Transparency, openness, frankness, they will give you character. Swami Vivekananda had so many tempting situations. There were so many women falling in love with him, tempting him. He was never tempted. Sri Ramachandra Prabhu, Surpanaka came, Bhishma, Amba came, Gandhiji, there were many temptations. Amidst all the temptations, if you are able to resist the temptations, and if you are to keep yourself upright morally, then we'll get the courage and the confidence. Small things. Many people are of the opinion that spirituality is without moral uprightness, and no. Without moral uprightness and without ethical excellence, nobody can develop spirituality. Show me Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa where he erred morally, where he went wrong morally. Anasuya is not a lady character. It's a mind where there is no jealousy. A woman of character. And therefore her husband, Atri, is not a person, spirituality, Natri. In the mind of moral uprightness character, there is courage, confidence. When you are right, when you are correct, when you are dharmic, when you are righteous, when you are truthful, such a sankalpa, you will have that fearlessness. Ram was seen by Ravan and he shivered in the shoes. When Krishna came, Kamsa was scared. When Mahatma Gandhi was there, that Winston Churchill was shivering. Swami Vivekananda was invited to Rockefeller's house. And Rockefeller said, "Sir, we are pleased with your wonderful service activities. I would like to give you some donation. Here is the blank check. I have not put the date, nor did I put the figure of the money. I sign and give it, use it as you like." Vivekananda took it. He looked at Rockefeller and he proceeded. He did not say thanks. He went to the doorstep, looked back. "Sir, I know what you are thinking. This man, ungrateful. If a person gives you a cup of water or a cup of coffee, they will thank. I have given a blank check. He doesn't have the courtesy to thank me. No, you have to thank me, not I you. You are grateful to the Almighty. Your money is being used for a noble purpose. It is the giver who is to be grateful, not the receiver." What a courage. A single man from India went there, spoke boldly about the atrocities being committed by them, and that is character. Character comes out of honesty. Character comes out of integrity. Character is built by our probity. Probity is conviction. I will not commit. I will not tell a lie. These two are like twins. Unless you have the confidence, you cannot be a person of character. Unless you have the character, you cannot have the confidence. Both are twins. Both are the two sides of the same coin, wonderful personality. Here and there you come across people who are of good character. They may be out of fear. Fear is the surest and safest guard against all vices. Courage is the best way by which you can build the character, and it gives you the confidence. Confidence should not make us arrogant, egoistic. Then our fall is certain. May we all, by the grace of God Almighty, in the footprints of Swami Vivekananda and a host of wonderful characters, develop that moral uprightness, ethical excellence, confidence, courage, conviction, and character. We will be always successful. Success shall be thine when you are confident and when we have the character. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity. May God bless you us all. I am sorry for the interruptions now and then because of the failure of electricity here.
Thank you very much, sir. That was a wonderful session. Indeed, Swamiji's life itself is full of confidence, his way of life. And in our volunteer meetings, we were always told by Swami Nikhilanandji Maharaj that if any person wants confidence, you just instant confidence mantra is read Swamiji. Any one paragraph of his, any one quote, you get that confidence. For instant confidence, just before an interview or anything, you need that. So it reminds me of what Maharaj has told me that day, sir. It was a great honor having you here in our session, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good night. God bless you.
Yes, sir. Sir, sir, with your permission, I think sir has logged out. Thank you very much for, thank you all the participants for such a session. I can already see the chat box full of comments saying thank you, sir. Thank you all the participants. But before we end the session, there is actually a small quick announcements I would like to make. So thank you. Just a second, everyone. Yeah, the questions and all will be answered. Just a second. Let me share my screen. Hope my screen is visible. And yeah, these are a list of our upcoming courses from VIHE. So the first course is concentration lessons for students. This course is basically for students from 10th. It is on 10th July, and it is on Saturday at 11 a.m. So it is for students basically. So you can ask your children or anyone if you want to join, can join this course. The next one is now the participants coming. So this next course is practical meditation through Bhagavad Gita. This is on 12th chapter. We have already done. Hope I'm audible. Any participant can unmute.
Yes, audible.
Yes. Yeah. So this, thank you everyone. So this is a course on practical meditation through Bhagavad Gita. We have done on 10th chapter, 11th chapter as well, last previous months. And this is on 12th chapter, which is Bhakti Yoga. So the course will be taken by our Maharaj, Swami Bodhamayananji. And this is a 6-day course from 19th July to 24th July. And this is also at the evening time, 6 p.m. to 7:15 p.m. And the next course is, just a second. Yeah. And the next course is build a strong immunity through yoga and Ayurveda. And this is also a 6-day course from 6 to 7:15, 19 July to 24th July. So interested participants can log in for this course. And then, yeah, build a strong character. Yeah, this is Bhagavad Gita classes. And this is on every Saturday, our Maharaj Swami Bodhmayananji will be taking Bhagavad Gita classes, but this is in Telugu. So people who can understand Telugu, local people can log into it. This is on our YouTube channel. You can just go to YouTube and type RK Mat Hyderabad. You can get this link. It'll be, you can set a reminder also. So now the 10th Adhyayam is going on, which is Vibhuti Yoga, where Swamiji will be taking the session. It is on every Saturday from 5:45 to 6:40 p.m. And that it is continued by Aratrikam. Yeah, and this is a suggested readings by Swamiji. There are 4 books. If anyone wants to note it down or take a screenshot, take a picture, they can. There are 4 books: Self Mastery, Faith is Power by Swami Paramananda, How to Build Character by Swami Buddhidananda, and Vivekananda, the Man and His Message by the Eastern and Western Disciples. So these are the 4 books. I'll be later typing this in the chat box too. So interested participants can read these books. These are suggested readings for everyone. As told already, instant confidence, just read Swami Vivekananda. It's like it's practiced, and we all volunteers are made to do by Swamiji. So it is very good for instant confidence if you want, Swamiji. And then the next course is just a second, it's not. And the last courses, as one of the participants was asking, yeah, how to join as a volunteer or how to do seva. This is the way. We at VIHE are on all social platforms, Instagram, Telegram, WhatsApp, YouTube, Facebook, and we have our own app called RK Mat Hyderabad. You could just go to the Play Store and type RK Mat Hyderabad. You can find the symbol there. So you can just install it in your mobile, Android and iPhone. So at Instagram, we are at Human Excellence, and WhatsApp, this is the number. So interested participants can write down the number as well. And this is the way to stay connected. And any participant, like as I can see a message that how to join as a volunteer, you could text us to this WhatsApp number. You'll get as well as you'll get the notifications of all the courses through these platforms. Yeah, so this is the end of it. Any participants, any doubts can ask, can unmute and ask themselves.
With this, we are concluding this 5 days course, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sure. Thank you.
Yeah. So just a second. I'll put the suggested readings in the chat box so everyone can see the chat box. Yes, please go ahead.
Yes, ma'am.
I
couldn't.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I couldn't see the number in that like what you shared in the screen. The last two numbers. Can you?
Okay, just a
tell me
second.
that?
Yeah, it's 9177232696.
Thank you. So
You can just take a screenshot, or you can just yeah. So at YouTube, you can just type VIHE. You'll get all the previous webinars also conducted, and you can just stay connected with all these social platforms. Yeah, and these are the suggested readings. I've put it in the chat box. Yes, sir.
Ma'am, can you tell the name of today's speaker? I'm sorry, I couldn't get it right. Can you repeat the name of today's
Sorry,
speaker?
sir. Name of
Today's speaker, sir's name, Professor
Today's?
K. Speaker.
Okay, yeah, Professor K. Subramaniam Garu.
Okay, thank you, madam.
Ma'am, when the parent motivation class starts, ma'am, the course?
You can just message in our WhatsApp thing, ma'am, so that we can share it with you. And as
Okay.
I've shared like all these courses, I'll run through all the courses once again so that you can just note it down.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So with this, we'll conclude the session today.
Feedbacks,
These are
feedbacks. I want to know what they have observed 5 days.
Yes, Swamiji. Jai Ram Krishna.
We'll start with Saujanya. Saujanya ji, please tell your learnings. You have నేర్చుకున్నారు all the 5 days, 5 full days.
Oh, 5 full days, no, Swami, like I have learned about the Shraddha, like how we can put our Shraddha and how I can build my character and self-confidence.
Yes.
So, yes, that's what I learned.
That is general statement. What is the specifics? Any specific area you liked and you will practice?
I liked about the waking up early and doing meditation and studying Swamiji, because before I used to wake up in the morning, but I never did meditation or anything.
Yes.
But this has helped me a lot in concentration levels and all. So that's what.
Welcome, welcome. Keep it up. Keep up that consistency. Anirudh ji, can you say something? Anirudh Kaluri.
Yes, sir. Namaskar, Swamiji.
Okay.
I have learnt about Shraddha first. The main important thing I have learned is to build confidence.
Yes.
We have to meet some challenges.
Yeah.
Those challenges must be optimal, not too big or not too small challenges. They must be optimal. And when we solve them, we get confidence. This Pawan Deshmukh sir has told. And the same thing has been reiterated by in the class 4 Modi sir. He said the same thing, that we have to take the responsibility. We have to put small challenges, do them every day at any cost. So I'm working on these tips. 4 important things I'm putting every day. I'm doing them compulsorily.
Very good.
At any cost.
Welcome. Keep it up and God bless you and keep up the focus. Very important.
Thank you.
Anybody else who wants to say other than voluntarily, please quickly, 1 minute.
Namaste, Swamiji.
Yeah, please.
I have one good thing, like, learn from whatever the others have already spoke about. One is about the integrity between like the mind, the acts, and the words. So, like, if we follow that, like, definitely we can say, like, we can get the self-confidence. At the same time, we can maintain our character. This is one of the important thing I learned.
Right.
Thank you.
Gangacharyaluji, you raised your hand. You want to say something?
Namaste, Swamiji.
Namaste, namaste, namaste.
So my take is it's very rare to meet such very special people. In fact, I'm inspired by every speaker who has been part of this 5-day program. They have been really inspirational.
Yes.
In day-to-day corporate life, we miss to find people with such confidence and such strong character, steel-like character and confidence. So that's the wonderful takeaway for me. Whatever the discouragement that I have, why the whole world is self-centered, is just getting vanished slowly when I'm associated with this kind of mutt and also while meeting the people, that makes it more positive for me. So I want to be associated further.
Good observation. Based on this one, I request all of you to join our family. Become family members, not just registered members.
Yeah.
Not just the 250 rupees or that registration link and all. That is all technical. That is all Vyavaharika for like your vehicle. But the most important thing is your involvement, participation, volunteering, meditating, attending other classes, getting exposed to Vivekananda's ideas from diverse angles. What you saw next week's also courses are there about yoga, immunity, health, meditation, then Bhagavad Gita classes, children's classes are going on vigorously. Now I will have to connect after this to NRI's class, nearly 52 young boys and girls from America, Canada. They are joining us for 3 days a week class. But we need volunteers, we need devotees, we need some support from all of you. So please write to me if you are interested to volunteering. We have different groups in Telegram app because that is now taking over from WhatsApp. More people are shifting to Telegram because WhatsApp's problem issues. So we have a WhatsApp group, we have Telegram group, we have Instagram, we have Facebook accounts of Human Excellence, Ramakrishna Math. Lot of notifications, lot of activities in future. And within 2 months, we'll have our anniversary foundation day, 22nd foundation day of Human Excellence, September 11th. Okay. And September 11th is Vivekananda's Chicago Address Day also. It's a big celebration, online celebration this time. Last time also we did online celebration. But spreading the message, as you said, from your corporate world to our student world, to the youth world, at a time when there is a lot of hypocrisy and a lot of violence and corruption and lack of confidence is there, but it is misused, as I said in the beginning. It is misled. People are throwing out things, value system, etc. Now, no, Vivekananda has said we have to fight it out. Fight it out. The word used is fight it. Infection is there, corona infection, fight it out. By exercise, by nutrition, by vitamins, etc. So bad thoughts are there, fight it out. Struggle. Life is full of struggle. Nobody is born with a silver spoon. Even Alexander had to slog so much. Vivekananda had to slog. Buddha had to slog so much. So confidence is such a wonderful thing. So many other classes next month also, August. Webinars in between. Youth Leadership Award contests. So all of you can get connected. Send me your request number to me. Please note down my number also, where I have got groups. 9959 300 112. That is my WhatsApp number, Telegram number. 9959 300-112 Bodhamayananda. You can write your feedbacks. You can write a summary of the 5 days. I shall publish in the Facebook, in our account, in the blog, students of VIHE, bodhamayananda@gmail.com. That is my personal ID. You can send your comments, your observations, your feelings, and we shall solve the problems and take the institute forward. Okay. So there is another new course I am planning. It was there before the pandemic. It's called Contributor Personality Course. It is for elders. Those who are in the corporate world, those who are professionals can undergo this course. It's about 20 days, nearly a month. Contributor personality. Normally, what is that? Consumer. I am a consumer. I want something from society, but I don't give back to society. That's where government made it a rule, CSR. What you call corporate social responsibility. They have made it compulsory because people are not giving back to society. They got so much from society. So at least 2% you have to give. And that has created so much good and so much welfare, education, medical, hospitals, scholarships. We also have such schemes. So, but contributor personality, all of you, Rangacharlu or Nivedita or Vishwanath or Lokesh or Saujanya can become contributors. So how to become contributor? Who is a contributor? What is the scope of contribution? There's a prepared book, syllabus, 300 rupees book we give to all the participants. So I'm making the dates and so that at least 20-30 of you will join, gain that mastery. It is a certificate course. Small test will be there. So graded certificate we give from Institute of Human Excellence. That will be a good support to you for your knowledge and interaction with professionals, with management gurus, and myself will give the class. I will inform the dates to you. You can join the course, and the book will be sent to you by courier. You can follow the textbook and follow the syllabus for 20 days. That will be a new initiative in the month of August. Okay. So when you get connected, pardon? Yeah.
Sure, certainly, Swamiji. I'll definitely follow that, and I will also enroll for volunteering as well as contributor.
You can send your name and your talent. What are you good at? Are you good at videography? Are you good at promos? Are you good at giving a class on something? Somebody is good in music. Somebody good in telling stories to children. You have multiple talents today. Multiple talents. Use it for the good of society. 1 hour, 2 hours. Since it is all online now, the traveling time and all that has reduced. So from the comfort of your room, late evenings, early mornings, you can finish, give seva, learn yogasanas, as Saujanya said. Yogasanas compulsory, that gives confidence over your health. Then meditation compulsory, confidence and concentration will increase. And study of literature, beautiful books, inspiring literature. Read from the beginning, like a school child, build up your PhD level. So these are all part of the training that we are giving for school children, youth, college professionals, parents, teachers, all that in the next 6 months we will work. Okay. So thank you very much. Namaste. And good to see all of you till the end day on Friday. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Shubharatri, Shubharatri, Shubharatri. Shubhavaram, tomorrow, day after, then please join us. Thank you. Jai Ramakrishna.
Thank you, Swami.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Namaste.